Welcome to Under Two Capes News, and I got two words for you people. Beast Wars!
All right.
That's right, folks. They finally announced the next Transformers movie is going to be called Rise of the Beasts, which only means one thing. Beast Wars, baby. Live action Beast Wars movie. Now, it's not going to be exactly in the same time period as the Beast Wars show, which is sad, honestly. But I like how they're doing something new with it. Lad, thoughts?
Yeah, it looks. I mean, I never actually watched Beast Wars. But I know of it, and I know that a lot of people really enjoy it. It's gonna be really cool, like something new. Because the director and stuff mentioned that we've done Autobots versus Decepticons for many movies now, and it's kind of gotten a bit boring, and people are over it. So they want to do something new, and this is really going all out.
Which is hilarious, considering the fact that Autobots and Decepticons are still going to be in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I said they really should just do Beast Wars, or at least have it be in the past. Which I think my theory is that what they might do. Okay, so actually, before I go into my theory, let me give you a brief summary of Beast Wars as the one that's seen the entire series. So Beast Wars, it's a prequel sequel to G1. Now, what I mean by that is that it's a sequel in that the Maximals and Predacons are the descendants of the Autobots and Decepticons, respectively. Now, what happens is, so they're coming from a future where the Autobots and Decepticons war is ending, and the Maximals and Predacons are, for the most part, on the same side, and Megatron, who is not the same Megatron who turns into a gun, because that's stupid. I never understood why G1 Megatron turned into a handgun. I'm like, what? Oh, let me allow the other people to shoot me. But anyway, let me see. But anyway, so Megatron, it basically takes a ship and a bunch of Predacons to a time portal to Earth, and then this Earth is like in the caveman times, and they're trying to make it so the Predacons ended up on top. So what they do is they try to wipe out humanity before they even develop the wheel. Little did I know is that the Maximals showed up, and the Maximals are the Autobots led by Optimus Primal. No relation to Optimus Prime except by name, because he named himself Optimus to honor Prime. And it turns into a fight to see, because the main Maximals that we see are like the skeleton crew of their ship, and the rest are in stasis pods. And then as they're crashing onto the Earth, the stasis pods get launched into space, and every so often one will crash down. It's basically like in Armada, how they're always trying to find a mini-con.
Yeah.
It's basically that. And then, but this show went deep into Transformers lore. There was the Matrix. At one point, they even found the Transformers. They discovered, They discovered, well, the reason why they turned to animals is because Energon in this form is so pure that it disrupts their robot forms. That's why they turned to beasts, because that was the only thing available.
I see.
And then, let me see what else. They bring in a couple of G1 characters like Starscream as a ghost, Ravage, and it's really, really. I would hazard a thing to say this is my favorite Transformer show.
I see. Yeah, that's really interesting. That is really cool. That whole premise that they have going on there.
What I'm wondering is if this is going to be a sequel of Bumblebee.
That's the thing, right? That's the ticket. Like they said, it's gonna, it's in 1994. So we'll talk about that a little bit later too. So it's after Bumblebee, that was in the 80s, but it's before the original Transformers movies. So it could be a little bit vague about it. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if it could either be a Bumble sequel, or maybe they're just gonna make it that it doesn't really matter if it's connected or not, because honestly, the Transformers movies have been really loose with their continuity anyway. They may just make it, if you really, if you care, it's a Bumblebee sequel, but it could also be a prequel to the original movies. No one's really keeping track anymore.
So apparently, here are the characters who are confirmed to show up in the movie. You ready? Optimus
Yes.
Prime in the G1 form, Bumblebee as the off-road Camaro. So it is the sequel of Bumblebee, confirmed. All right, Scourge. I'm trying to remember who was Scourge from Cybertron, right?
Oh, Scourge is we're talking. He's a Decepticon, I believe.
Okay,
and
yeah.
he is one of Galvatron's minions. One of the guys that Unicron was working with Unicron or something.
All right, and okay, so RC, so dope. She's one that turns into the motorcycle in Prime.
Yeah.
Mirage,
Mirage,
Nightbird.
Mirage is gonna be a good guy if he's one of the Autobots.
Who's Nightbird?
Nightbird, I believe, is one of the maybe a Predacon or something. I'm not sure. Either Predacon or just Nightbird.
It looks like he's gonna be a modern Transformer. Yeah, he's gonna be a modern Transformer.
Nightbird.
He doesn't have a beast mode.
Okay, yeah, it's like a interesting. It looks like a character from G1 that.
Yeah, he's a G1 character. It looks like.
Yeah, he's kind of more of like a robot, just like straight up robot only.
Apparently, it was in a G1 episode. So it's Nightbird, Air Razor. So we're getting to the Maximal. She's the one who turned into the Eagle, Rhinox, and last but certainly not least, Optimus Primal.
Yay!
I'm trying to see, are these the only Transformers that will show up? The press conference confirmed a handful of big names and more. So So I think what they're gonna have is the regular G1 team, like obviously like narrowed down a little bit because in G1 there's so many Autobots.
Right. It seems like they definitely want to focus on some new characters. So we're gonna have a smaller Autobot 4 team there. I think.
Still think that we're gonna get the regular the core Maximal team, which is Optimus, Air Razor, Rhinox, Silverbolt, Cheetor, Rat Trap, and Dinobot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're just right now they're just naming a few of the big ones that are for sure confirmed. But
geez, dude, that was freaking sweet.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
This I was not expecting when they said, okay, so it's gonna be the new Transformers movie. I'm like, wait, when they said Rise of the Beast, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean the whole concept of it that the Transformers, they're like their future descendants, but then they travel back in time to Earth, like way in the past, but like I guess this is following an evolutionary timeline if you think of it that way. But they actually travel to the past, and then they actually they encounter their precursors. That's pretty crazy. And I'm wondering like how popular will this be? Like, do you think this will be really popular? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know about the Beast era that much.
If they'll get the hardcore like you and me Transformers fans, because it's freaking Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. I mean, that's
one of those shows that every Transformers fan to some degree has heard of it.
Right.
They're like, oh, those are the ones that turn into animals. Those are really cool. I will get loud watching that show. You must watch that show.
Yeah, I gotta check it out for sure. And it's definitely interesting because after G1, they had all that G1 stuff, and the show actually continued. Had so many episodes, and then Beast Wars was like the first big like reboot where they did something completely different for Transformers, like and they did the CGI animation, which was kind of a little rough.
It was wonky at times.
It was revolutionary at then, right?
Yeah, it was wonky. It was still wonky at times, but it definitely and Lad got it perfectly. It was new because people are getting really. I get the feeling that the reason why I think this is gonna be popular, people are getting kind of tired of just robots that turn into vehicles.
Right. And
according to this, it's gonna be in the same continuity as also the Bayverse.
Interesting. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that they may be deciding to do that. The movies all kind of fit together, and I know
because
there's
a Bumblebee turns into a Camaro.
Right. Bumblebee turns to Camaro, and then it's in line with the main, the original 5 movies. But I mean, that's what I'm saying, that they may just be having one continuity, and that, for the most part, it
Yeah.
works. Because I remember 5 contradicted some
Oh
stuff.
my
Like how
gosh.
Bumblebee
5 was the most confusing Transformers movie I've ever seen. I like the action, but the story was crap.
the 5th one was just like, it made absolutely.
Because I'm like, wait a second. So this is existing in the same movie as Transformers 1, where we see the Autobots come down in pods, but they've been on Earth this entire time?
Yeah, it's like the movies get really contradictory. So that's what I'm saying. When Bumblebee came out, it was supposed to be a prequel to the those movies. Then when they saw it was being popular, they added that end scene where it shows Optimus arriving during in the 80s there. So then people thought, oh, they're gonna start a new continuity now because it's popular. But now it seems like they just want to do a single continuity that everything fits together as long as you squint. For the most part.
I think what they're doing is that they're doing, from this point on, from Bumblebee on, here's the new continuity. The Bayverse can conceivably fit in if you ignore certain things. Just pretend like this is Transformers 1 and the other ones happened and didn't happen. It's like the Omniverse. Everything matters.
Yeah, I agree with that, right? That at least for the time time being, it's kind of like they didn't happen, but it doesn't, nothing in this movie will contradict what happened in the Bayverse movies, at least for the time being. So
I did like, what I do like is that in Bumblebee, and it looks like in this, they're still respecting the Bayverse to a degree.
They're right.
I consider the new continuity just cleaning up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and now they will get some more confirmation eventually.
Now here's the question. So it said the Maximals, Predacons, and the Terracons. Terracons were not in the original show, as far as I know.
Yes. So I did some research on this. So the Predacons, we all know who the Predacons are. I mean, from the TV show of the Beast Wars, they were the enemy faction that the Maximals were competing against. But there are also a group of Predacons in the G1 that was like 5, kind of beast-looking creatures. They had like an eagle and some bulls and stuff, and together they would form Predaking. So that was, and they said for this movie the Predacons are going to be more reptilian-like, so kind of like from the Beast Wars. Now,
so the Terracons are going to be the reptiles.
No, the Predacons going to be more reptile-like. And I imagine that's going to be more like the Predacons from Beast Wars.
Yeah, I was about to say kind of, because most of them turn into dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And now let me pull this up.
Well, they did have the Terracons in, now that I think about it, Prime, because there was the thing that turned into a dragon.
Oh, yeah, they did. They had Predaking, I think, in Transformers Prime. Let me see if I can just find the Terracons. I was checking on the Terracons, and those guys were also in the G1 show. They actually had their own combiner also in the G1 show. I forgot, they were probably added in later on in the TV series, I believe. But the Terracons were a group of villains in the original Decepticon team. There were 5 of them, and together they would form, I think, a combiner of some sort. But then they never actually appeared.
Abominus.
There you go, Abominus. Yeah, and they never actually were in the Beast Wars era, but they were in the Armada, the Unicron trilogy. They were in an Energon TV show. They were
in the Unicron trilogy?
Yeah, they were. They weren't too important though. They were the bad guys that would suck up the Energon, like the Ravagers and the, you know, like the dogs in Energon that would chew up the stuff.
Okay, yeah, the foot soldiers. Now I remember. I was like, wait a
Yeah.
sec. I thought you meant Armada, and I was like, oh yeah, that includes Energon.
Yeah, Energon. Yeah, with like the birds and the little like dogs that would chew up stuff and then suck up Energon. And then in the Prime show, they were actually like zombies of Transformers that were like, you know, just
Like Cliff Jumper.
like Cliff Jumper, right? So in the press release for the, you know, the upcoming movie, they said that Terracons will actually be the main villain, and that they are like a threat to both the Maximals and the Predacons going on here.
Here's an idea. What if? So, did they mention anything about time travel with the Maximals and Predacons?
They haven't said that yet.
If they do the time travel story, what I'm thinking is that in the future, there's this big war where the Terracons wipe out the Transformers, but a small team of Maximals and Predacons go back in time, because at the time when the movie takes place, because it's taking place in the 90s, at this time, this is when like the Terracons like are unleashed.
That could be it. That could be a good point.
Go full Terminator with
Well,
it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that could be a good plot twist that they actually you know, end up throwing into this. We'll have to see. I mean, they could definitely do some cool stuff with it. But
yeah, it's gonna be. I am really. It's gonna have a couple of humans because it's Transformers movies, and they always have to have the humans because we all care about the humans.
Yeah, they said, maybe you can list off the two actors we know for sure are in it, but they said that they're gonna try to do the human characters better, or just, you know, not be annoying, or just.
I mean,
so
I like Cade. I like Cade.
Yeah. Describe the. I think they have in the article I sent you.
I see it.
Yeah.
So the two actors are Anthony Ramos from In the Heights, and
he was in Hamilton.
Yeah, and Dominique Fishback from Judas and the Black Messiah. So Fishback plays Elena, an artifact researcher who works at a museum where her boss continues to steal credit for her own work. So what I'm thinking is that maybe she's the one who unleashes the Terracons. Maybe they were buried on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Because, wait a second, if they're going with the whole Earth is Unicron bit, what if they're actually part of Unicron, like his immune system?
That could possibly be the case. If they continue that storyline there, maybe.
And then Ramos plays Noah, a Brooklyn native and ex-military, of course, who serves as a father figure to his siblings. He came back home trying to find his way, if you will, when he came back home. All right, so as Ramos said, a virtual press conference. They come from a low-income home, so Noah's always hustling. Ramos said he's the tech prodigy, of course. It's a Transformers movie. Who can fix anything. It's so cool to see him in his element at a certain point in the film, of course.
Yeah, it's funny because Ramos actually said in an interview that when he was a kid, he loved watching the Beast Wars show. So when he found out that he was going to be on the Transformers movie, but that it was going to be about Beast Wars, his head almost exploded because he's like so excited about that.
Because that's up there as the greatest Transformers show of all time. That's why.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully they do the human characters right. I think maybe we'll see something a little better.
One more thing I want to say is that they asked, what's the tone going to be? Is it going to be more Bumblebee or Michael Bay? And they said it's going to be a spectacle in the tradition of the Michael Bay films, which means a metric crap ton of explosions.
Yeah.
I think like physically incapable explosions. In other words, explosions that shouldn't be possible.
Like in Power Rangers.
Hand grenade, an entire nuke goes off. Like, what?
Yeah. He talked about it a little bit, and because people are wondering, Bumblebee was more small focus, and the Bay films were like big and crazy and explosions. And I believe what he's going for is that, you know, they want to do like the heart and soul that Bumblebee had, like where Bumblebee did really great things with the characters and the Transformers, but have it at the scale of the Bayverse movies with the cool action scenes, many Transformers. So basically take the best parts, like the heart and soul of Bumblebee and all the action in the Bayverse movies, and put them together and make really good one.
Sorry, if they can pull this off, it will be fantastic. because
Yeah.
he's taken the best parts of the Bayverse and
Yeah.
the good part of Bumblebee and creating a marriage and
Yeah.
throwing Beast Wars into it, because why not?
Why not, right? And we said that, I mean, we said how 5 was really cool actiony, but it made no sense with the storyline
The
whatsoever.
story made no sense. I only
Yeah.
liked it because there's Optimus Prime cutting combiners' heads off.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean,
What?
I guess maybe it'd be nice to actually watch a Transformers movie and enjoy the action and the plot, right?
Yeah,
So-
I feel like after 4, the quality went down because in 4 that there was like some green screen left in there. The Sears Tower was left up in Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Watch
not
the
there.
Honest
I
trailer.
don't know.
Just watch the Honest trailer. It explains everything.
But
Yeah, I'm very excited for a Beast Wars movie. Like,
yeah,
really
and the fact
excited.
that
It's been a long time since I was excited for a Transformers movie.
yeah, I know, right? And it feels like a perfect time. Like Beast Wars is something new and different. A lot of people are gonna be surprised by, Transformers turning into animals. That's gonna be kind of interesting. And I think it's just gonna be unique. It'll something different than Transformers into cars. Like it's gonna really bring a lot of people back into Transformers that were into Beast Wars and stuff back in the day. So it's really nice.
Now, what I
It's really nice
wonder,
to see it.
are they gonna do more of a techno look for the animal forms, or are they gonna try and like have them scan animatronics or something like that, or find find a way to make it work?
I think at that press conference thing, they showed a few like images to the people that went there, but they weren't allowed to record anything. And they describe it as the like Optimus Primal and the others look like they have fur patches on them and stuff.
Okay, so I guess kind of more like to blend in, but
Blend in. They like kind of like bio-organic.
that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'd be cool either way because it's freaking Beast Wars.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to say that so many times. That, like, put it this way, that's almost on the level of Snyder cuts.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it is crazy because we had, Beast Wars and then Beast Machines, back in the 90s.
Imagine if that's the sequel, Beast Machines.
That'd be crazy. And then, we got so many different Transformers reboots and movies and TV shows. But for the most part, the Beast Wars characters and era have not been touched. It's really only recently, in the last 2 or 3 years, Transformers started to explore it again, like having some masterpiece figures of like Optimus Primal and others. And then further, I think it's like the 25th anniversary of the Beast Wars era. So they actually made the final arc in the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy that's on Netflix. That final season is going to be about the kingdom, about Maximals and Predacons.
I still have to watch season 2.
Yeah, you check out season 2, but the third season.
First season was fantastic. Lad,
Yeah.
have you watched it?
I haven't actually watched it yet. But
Next time you come over, this Saturday we're watching it. By the way, pretty much what this inspired me to do, and I was talking a lot after this, we may do where we alternate the Halo show with a Transformers lore show.
Yes, that'd be really cool.
Why not? We know this is something that Lad and I both know an equal amount of.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, like this is really high. We both know quite a bit history of Transformers, and I'd love to, definitely.
I haven't been this hyped on Transformers since the first movie.
Yeah, that was way back
2007, then. Bro.
Yeah. So
and I saw that movie 5 times in theaters. I kid you not.
That's awesome.
But dude, we're getting a freaking Beast Wars movie that's gonna combine with G1. So it's it's kind of like the Transformers gods, whoever that. It's like Primus laid a gorgeous egg that hatched into the greatest Transformers amalgam, if you will, of all time.
Yeah. Hey,
because it's the 2 best eras of all time.
It's gonna be really fun, dude. It's gonna be really, really fun, and it comes out next June, like a year from now. That's pretty crazy.
Soon. The only reason I saw in the article, the only reason why they didn't have a trailer is because they started photography there, like today.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like kind of early? Like, don't you think the movie would need more time to make?
Normally, normally at this point we would have gotten the trailer because I would have had to wait. I would have been like, oh, I gotta wait a year. Let me put it this way:
Yeah.
when the first movie was coming out, that was the longest year of my life.
Oh,
Trust me,
really?
I've waited for Halo games. No, Transformers One, that was the longest wait time.
Oh man.
For
Dude.
some reason, it felt like 2 years.
Yeah. Yes. So that's really good. And there's another point I wanted to bring up for people. Some other information we do know is we know, like we said, it's set in 1994. So 90s era.
So it's combining
That's
those eras. So it's gonna be with the Bumblebee characters. So that's important.
Right.
And at this point, Optimus and the Autobots are on Earth.
Right. They said Optimus is on. They're arriving. They arrived on Earth, and they mentioned that Optimus is going to be kind of like a little bit of origin for Optimus, kind of seeing him a younger leader, learning to, be in the role a bit. So that's kind of cool.
What would be cool is if they did for like, how in Bumblebee they had flashbacks. It'd be kind of cool if we saw him as like Orion Pax, and it's like him becoming Optimus Prime.
That'd be so cool. And the last thing I remember reading about is that we know they're filming in Brooklyn, New York for some scenes, but the big one is that they're going to Peru to film scenes in Cusco, which is a city, and then also at Machu Picchu, really famous landmark in Peru, in the jungles of Peru, right? The big, civilization that was built in the mountains there. And that's a pretty big deal, I think, because it makes sense for the Beast Wars, right? Like if they want to do like a setting for the Transformers, kind of put them in the Amazon, in the Machu Picchu area of Peru. It's not as explored, so maybe you can make it they've been hiding out there all this time, or they awakened there. It's a really cool area to set it up in.
The good part is that when Optimus shows up, we can have Amazon Prime. Nailed it.
Oh boy.
But dude, I'm looking at it, and what's cool, they could have totally explained that like the Beasts were here the entire time, even during Bumblebee. They were just hiding out here. Because it wasn't like it wasn't like the Battle of Chicago where everyone knew the Transformers were there. In Bumblebee, the only people that knew he was there was Sector 7.
Yes. I know. So it's pretty cool. It's actually like I'm not sure if people are aware of it, but it's a big deal for Peru also. Like the Minister of Tourism and the Minister of Culture of Peru gave like a little press conference about saying how they're so glad to be working with Paramount Productions, to come down and film in Peru, and they give them permission to film at Machu Picchu, which is a pretty, cool thing also. So it's funny. It's like in the Peruvian news also. I'm half Peruvian, so that I picked up on some of that stuff, but it's really cool.
Now, the only way this could get any better is if they announce a Beast Wars game. That's the only way they can make this better.
Yes.
If they announce that, I will jump off this chair.
Hello.
It will basically be my reaction to the not impressed scene from the Snyder Cut. Lad was there. He knows.
Yes.
It'll be my reaction to Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian.
Yes.
And if they do it in the War for Cybertron like style, because the other games were not that good. War for Cybertron was great.
So I have a bit of a prediction, not for the movie itself, but because the movie's really hyped. But I've been looking at the Transformers franchise and how they're in a bit of a lull period. The aligned continuity is over now, and all their TV shows have just finished off. Like they have a younger audience show that's called Transformers Rescue Bot Academy. That's for like preschoolers. That ended. And then they also had Transformers Cyberverse Adventures, which is for teenagers.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bumblebee Cyberverse. That's a teenager show. That just ended also. And then the War for Cybertron trilogy for adults is about to have its final season this year. So all of their, TV shows are just finishing up now. So we don't know what they're planning to do next. I'm thinking that it could be a good time for Beast Wars, like a
revival,
a retelling of Beast Wars.
Can you imagine with modern animation,
dude.
I feel like
I think
did you see like there's a Prime Wars like show that was on YouTube that you can find, and Optimus Primal shows up in that, played by Ron Perlman.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had it was like on
On
Machinima's on YouTube a little bit. It was before they did the War for Cybertron. The War for Cybertron was taking that Prime Wars and doing it with a full show. But yeah, Optimus Primal showed up in that. But they've slowly been doing more and more Beast Wars stuff now with Kingdom on Netflix. And with the movie coming out and no TV shows planned at the moment, I think they could do a reboot, Beast Wars TV show, kind of like how the Armada trilogy was a reboot of like G1, or the Transformers Prime was a reboot. I mean, that would be so great, because if the movie comes out and they start doing a TV show with like all the Beast Wars characters, they could build on the hype of that.
Or better yet, they make the TV show an animated sequel of the movie. So you watch the movie, cool. And then you go, and then the story's immediately continued, and then it goes until the next movie comes out. That's what they should do. Make the TV shows the in-between for the movies.
Yeah. That'd be awesome if they actually had the brand synergy like that. Like how Star Wars does that.
Or DC.
Or DC, right?
Tries to do.
Yeah.
Actually,
that'd be...
The best analogy is Marvel. The way Marvel does it, how they have the movies and the shows, and the movies and the shows. But it's all telling one same story. Yeah, I feel like, 100% what they could do is they could use Beast Wars as an opportunity to reboot their TV shows and just do Beast Wars. Because let me put it this way, I think what they're doing is they're infusing Beast Wars into their modern movie to see if it's popular. It's popular. Throw them on a show.
Yeah, dude, that's new content to make. We've had many classic Transformers stories with G1, the Unicron trilogy, Transformers animated.
It's newer characters, newer stories and everything.
Right. Aligned continuity. It's all like similar to G1, but Beast Wars is very different. Just the whole concept of the animals. So we've never gotten a Beast Wars. Okay, we've gotten a Beast Wars sequel, but a retelling.
A not weird one, because Beast Machines was weird.
Do you know that there's actually a Beast Wars like anime in Japan?
Lucky, and I know there's a comic series too. That's a sequel to Beast Machines.
Okay. Yeah. No, they have whole two Beast Wars shows, Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo. That's a full Japanese anime that happens.
Can we just import that and dub it, please?
Yeah. I didn't even know it existed, but it's like a full-length TV show that's just sitting out there.
Those lucky bastards. Jeez. I want that.
Yeah, but I think this is a good idea, because this is something new. It brings life back into Transformers. We were saying it feels kind of dead out there,
Because we get the idea. The robots turn into cars. We get it. Oh, they turn into animals? How does that work? I'm interested.
Yeah. Now you're starting to mess with
maybe we'll get some good Transformers toys.
Yeah.
Because the toys have been suffering too, I feel like.
Robot animals would be super cool. I mean, everyone liked the Dinobots because they turned into animals. They were dinosaurs, right?
Remember, when Transformers did, the Transformers toys did, I think, early 2000s, they did this sort of thing where they would take action figures from around their different, multiverse, because apparently Transformers has a multiverse, and basically make reskinned action figures. And they had the Beast Wars one. They had Silverbolt, Optimus Primal. I had both. And then they straight up started releasing Beast Wars action figures that came with DVDs of the show. That's how I got into the show. I was like, oh, Cheethorn, he looks interesting. Oh, what's this DVD?
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
No, but dude, you're 100% right. This could reboot Transformers enthusiasm. Now, if we can only get this for Bionicle.
Let's get the hype going, okay?
We shall be the show when we inevitably launch our Bionicle show to get people back into Bionicle.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get the hype going for Bionicle. Maybe I'll do a couple of things for that.
Let me know when you want to do the show. I'll find a spot in the schedule for you.
Yep.
And in terms of schedule, I know I've been slacking a little bit on the episodes. A lot has been happening with my grad school paper, but I'm working on shuffling things around.
Yeah, just seeing what works, seeing what people like a lot,
By the way, thank you all for watching our He-Man video, because that's like I'm actually real quick. I'm gonna check the plays for that particular video, because if you don't know, Lad and I did a video that was like our reaction to the He-Man trailer, and it exploded.
Yep. So yeah,
I want to see if it's broken 200.
We we definitely like a wide variety of topics. Like
Lad, 201 views.
Oh, we broke 200 on the
Jeez.
video. That's really cool.
That video came out a week ago and still getting views.
That's really cool, dude. 200, but
I knew something was interesting when that evening it already had 35. I was like, what? What did I do? I need to replicate this.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll definitely bring you guys plenty of news like He-Man, Star Wars, Marvel.
We may have to start a He-Man show.
But yes.
This is the Comics League Network. We do so much stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, by the way. I know a lot of you, I know more people are watching unsubscribed than subscribed. Please subscribe. And like, comment, share. It helps our visibility get on YouTube. These are YouTube exclusive shows.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. But and anything else you're thinking for Beast Wars era hype?
Beast Wars era, geez. Besides how freaking excited I am.
Yes.
Geez. Let's see. That was the other Armada and Beast Wars are what got me into Transformers.
Nice.
So I could just say this is gonna be freaking dope.
Yes, it's gonna be so good, dude.
Because finally they're doing something new with the live action.
Yeah, I know. It feels like it's been a bit stale.
And maybe they're going to actually make a continuity that makes sense, Transformers 5.
Oh, boy.
I'm wondering, did Michael Bay forget, like, the plot of the other movies, and that's why he just had them on the planet, like, forever? Oh, don't worry. You see, when they were actually landing, that was showing you what happened in the past. And the reason why they were flying over their heads, they weren't actually landing, and they weren't actually coming from space. They went through a time portal. I'm like, oh, God, dude. Just admit it. You didn't know what you were doing. It happens to all of us, Michael Bay.
Oh, boy.
So just before we log off, just want to give you guys a quick update on the YouTube channel and the podcast Under Two Capes. Pretty soon, either this coming episode or the next one, we're going to do the Superman Wonder Woman or Batman Wonder Woman debate. We're going to have Mitch on. It's going to be super good. We're going to debate on who does Wonder Woman belong with. Please comment. And please say it's Superman. Because I have some pretty good reasons. I'll give you a preview. So you know the whole opposites attract thing?
Yeah.
That would work if the opposites weren't so fundamental to their characters. And let's not forget, Batman has a plan to kill Wonder Woman if she turns evil. Do you really think he can trust anyone that he has a plan to kill? By the way, Wonder Woman knows it. It's not like she doesn't know he has a plan.
He has a plan for everybody.
Not Catwoman.
Well, because Catwoman wouldn't turn evil.
She's a criminal.
But she's a good criminal, like
Star Wars. The reason why Batman and Catwoman works is because Catwoman shows Batman the morally because Batman to a certain degree has been very like absolutist in his time in his portrayal of justice, where Catwoman shows him it's more morally ambiguous. There's a little bit more of a gray area. So there you go. And plus, it just makes Wonder Woman look shallow if she's only with rich dudes. You went from a war hero to a rich dude. Really?
Yes. Perfect.
Plus, even Jim Lee was like, when they were talking about the new 52, when they were redoing Superman, he's like, okay, so we decided, let's make it so that him and Lois were never together. Well, who's the next? Who's the logical choice after Lois Lane for Superman? Oh, Wonder Woman. Ha ha ha! Even Linda Carter approves.
Oh boy.
So I have my arguments all prepared for this debate because trust me, Lad and I have it every single time we talk because he brings it up.
Yes. Yes. We'll be prepared, people, to have a fun debate on that.
A fun civil debate with Mitch.
Yep.
And yeah, so and then let's see, I'm trying to think of what else is going on. So this is going to be an early release for the new show. I know I normally do it Thursday, but there's like, see, the reason why I haven't done the Snyderverse show in a while is because I know he posts stuff every single, like pretty much every day, but see, those episodes just turn to me rambling about a picture, and I want to be able to talk about something substantive.
Yeah.
Like obviously when they announced it, when the Snyderverse is officially restored and announced, which actually it could be with the Flash movie.
Oh,
because conceivably, think about it this way. I know this is supremely off topic, but we're done. We're talking about Beast Wars, I think. I just want to talk about this one thing and then we'll log off. Okay. So imagine this. So what if Discovery and Warner saw that the Snyderverse was popular and then told Muschietti, you're basically rebooting to the Snyderverse?
Yeah.
Because we know it's a sequel to Justice League 2017.
That'd be really sick.
So what they could be doing is saying, let's use it to clean up the continuity and put it into the Snyderverse.
That'd be so hype.
That'd be so good. But anyway, that's what I think is happening until like from that period and on, when we get the announcement of the Snyderverse, and then to when we start talking about when he starts talking about what's going to be in it and stuff, then I'll start talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of other Snyder stuff, probably I think next we will start like doing more stuff on like what Snyder stuff is based on. Like we might do Dark Knight Returns, the story analysis. We'll do the Frank Miller series of books, other Snyder inspired stuff. But in terms of discussing like him releasing an image, I don't think we should do that.
Oh boy.
Unless it's like a huge image, like him saying it's restored.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that would definitely be a good one to do.
Oh, yeah, that would definitely do it. And then, okay, so Friday's that. Saturday and Sunday we're off from this show. Monday, obviously, Bad Batch, because, geez, that show has been firing on all cylinders.
Yes.
And then once Lad watches Loki, we'll discuss Loki.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all I got, Lad, unless you have anything else to add about Beast Wars.
No, I think that covers pretty much everything we're thinking about.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, by the way, Lad, real quick, do you want to tell the listeners the story you were telling me about your mom and Beast Wars?
Yeah, because I mentioned that I'm half Peruvian, so my mom is from Peru, and Jared texted me and told me about the announcement for Beast Wars, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, and I'm in the kitchen making a little snack, and then my mom comes up and says, hey, did you see the new Transformers movies, Rise of the Beasts or something? And I'm like, this movie was just announced like 4 hours ago. How do you even know about this? Like, you don't even really watch Transformers. And she's like, oh yeah, it's in the Peruvian news I was reading online. And I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, because they're filming in Cusco, in Machu Picchu, and the Minister of Culture was talking about it, and she sent me the articles, and it's like, all in Spanish, and they're at like a press conference and everything. So I thought it was really funny that like word's getting around about it. It's a big deal because Peru, they don't film too many big movies there, so it's going to bring a lot of tourism and attention to Peru, and they have a lot of good movie shot areas there, Machu Picchu and Amazon.
Once again, if there's one place to film Beast Wars, that's a good place for it.
That's gonna be so cool.
All right, guys, stay heroic, and we will see you Friday for in terms of for Thursday's show. I'll either skip it or just figure something out. So if you don't get a new show on Thursday, that's why. But anyway, stay heroic, and Lad, always a pleasure, and we will see you all Friday.
Yes. See ya.